Good morning. Have any of you ever served on a... I'm sorry, I thought I was in court. That's what we do most of the time, stand around waiting on somebody to call our case. My name is Jim Whitlock. I've been practicing law in Fayette County for 30 years. I've lived here 26 out of the last 32 years. And when you look at a judgeship, there's two things you look at. One is what you learn before you become judge, and the other is what you learn after you become judge. As far as I'm concerned, you learn a whole lot more before you become judge. I spent 30 years of talking to people going into court, not knowing an awful lot about it. If I ask you here today how many people knew much about courts, most people wouldn't raise their hand too high. You learn an awful lot. And I've talked to people going into court, wanted to know what their concerns were, wanted to know what their priorities were, what their fears were. Consequently, when I got into court, I knew what it was I was trying to accomplish. When I get up to speak to people about the probate court, I understand that most people know less about the probate court than they do any of the other courts. Now, you can read in the newspapers what these candidates for sheriff has done on the street, and you read about the courts they're in and what the courts did, but you seldom ever read anything in the newspaper about the probate court. We're kind of a lackluster kind of court. But the court is very important, especially for those of you who might find yourself in court with a situation where a relative has died and you have no will. Don't know what to do. You find yourself with an elderly relative who has a hat box full of money, 4 or 5 siblings after it all, and you say, we've got to do something to help Daddy. So you go to the probate court. There's 2 ways to go into probate court. One is with a lawyer and one is without a lawyer. Now, if I'm elected and you come in without a lawyer, I want to see that you understand what's going on. I want to make sure that you understand the process. I want to make sure that you understand what you've done, and when you get out of court, what's happened to you. You don't have that much interaction with an individual who is represented by an attorney because you're interacting with the attorney then instead of the individual. But I like a simple court, a court that you can understand. I'm running on one platform plank. It's kind of like walking a plank up off the boat out into the water. I just want it to be simple for you so that you can understand things. And I think court should be. There's no reason why it shouldn't be simple for you. Especially this court. I look at it as the court at the top of the list for people's court. A lot of people ask me, what changes are you going to make to do that? I said, well, I haven't looked at changes an awful lot. What I look at is the end result, which is simplicity. But there are some things that I can tell you that I'm going to try to do to make it simple for you. One is, a hands-on approach. Most probate courts around, the people in those courts are very well trained. The staff know a section of law that they deal with in the probate courts, and they're quite frequently cross-trained to know other areas of law in case somebody's out sick or on vacation or whatever. The probate judge keeps all that working pretty good, and it works out pretty well. I would like to have a more hands-on approach to people that are representing themselves and not represented by an attorney, so that I will know at what point this person is confused and knowing what's happening. Another thing I would like to do is handouts. I believe in handouts. My wife told me, said, look, Jim, you do this every day, all day. You know what's going on. You know how to handle it. You know what's happening next. The people you're talking to are afraid. They're nervous. They forget what you say. Write it down. So I write down. I got a lot of handouts. When I represent somebody, I say, here's what's going to happen, but I also put it in their hand. Here's what you need to do next. It's written down. A lot of people get nervous and forget to read it, but we give it to them. Another thing I'd like to do is make sure that the cross-training is the very best that it possibly can be. So that if we do have a person out, we can go ahead and handle your case that same day, hopefully, without any problems. Now, when you talk about change, I'm not talking about a lot of changes in this particular court, because this particular court is an open and friendly court. I'll put it to you this way. If I was going into a probate court anywhere around here, I'd like for it to be Fayette County. Now, that says something about our court system. I can't say that about every court necessarily, but I can say that about the probate court. One thing you learn in judging, and that is you're in charge. I've had around 12 years of experience as a judge. You learn more before you become a judge. And the reason why I say that is, when you're in charge, whatever you say is the way it goes. If you don't believe that, watch what happens whenever the bailiff comes out. Says, all rise, please remove your hats. No smoking, no joking, no eating in court. First thing the judge does when he comes out is what? Be seated. Overrules it. Everybody sits down. You're in charge, so you don't learn a lot. Here's one thing I plan to do. If people come into court, they seem to be a little bit confused or whatever, or don't act like they understand what's going on, I want to interview those people and find out what it is they got confused about. That's how we can improve the court. Interview the people. If you come in and you don't understand something, if I don't talk to you, I don't know what the problem is. But if I talk to you, and that's true with the lawyers too, if the lawyers come in, they don't understand. How many times they don't, because the rules are different in every court. The law is the same, but the rules are kind of different. Ask the lawyer. And the lawyer quite frequently asks us. I want to interview the people in there and keep it simple. If you elect me, I'm going to do my best to keep it simple. It's just that simple. Thank you.